and roll, Chicago. Rock and roll, Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best you're ever around.
It's Paul Martin
And Ray the Roadie.
for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. What's happening, Ray?
Not a heck of a lot. We got another new band coming to join us this evening at the studio at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66.
Cool. Who we got?
I want to say it's a new band, but it's not a new band. It's the third generation of Mockstar.
Mockstar.
Yep.
Cool.
Gotten back together. Jack Cole is the lead member of the band, and he's putting it back together.
He's the lead singer too.
Lead singer, taking a little. He took a little break. The band broke up a number of years back, and he decided he wanted to put this back together. And he got some great musicians to back him up. And Mockstar is coming to a theater or festival near you.
Good. I hope so soon.
Definitely.
They're working right now and putting the show together and getting all their songs in order. And hopefully they'll be out soon to see to rock for everyone.
That's right. So let's check them out, see what the first generation was like, what the second generation was like, and where the third generation is going.
Okay, let's do it. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Today we're speaking with Jack Cole and Scott Lyston from the band Mockstar. How you guys doing today?
Doing well, thank you. How are you guys?
Appreciate you having us out.
No problem.
Thanks for making it, especially in this stormy weather.
From Chicago, man. There's no other weather besides, it's either hot or cold. There's no in between. So
That's right.
we're all good.
That's right. So tell us a little bit about the band. Somebody who's never seen the band or knows anything about it. What can they expect from the band?
Nothing. No. Mockstar's been around for a little while. This is actually my third creation of this band. The first creation we had, I think it was in 2008.
So, Jack, you started a band?
Mockstar was my idea, but it wasn't me putting the band together in the first aspect of it. The first aspect of it, some of the best musicians in Chicago there was John Dobbs and Dean Maltese from Radica. There was John Craig from Odette, which is now in the Lounge Puppets. And there was Bobby Sinatra from Cutlass. And they had a cover band they were doing. They didn't have a singer at the time. And I've known John and Dean for years. I used to roadie for them. They were my first break into the scene, I guess you can say, when I was about 20. I came to their practice and I started singing, and John stopped everything and goes, "You didn't tell me you can sing." I said, "You never asked me." And so I became their new singer, and we were searching for a name for the band, and some names were thrown around like Mach 5 and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I got a Razor Mach 5. I don't want to be known as that. And so I went home that night and I was watching.
You're clean shaven, though. I noticed.
I try to be. It makes me look younger.
You're still using that Mach 5.
Yes, I'm still using the Mach 5 because I need to look younger.
10 years ago, by the way.
And so I went home that night and I was watching Mark Wahlberg's Rockstar. And It was a very good movie. A lot of people in that movie that I've met through the years of doing what I do. And I'm laughing, going like, "Hey, we're going to be mocking that stuff. That's kind of funny." And then it just hit me, Mockstar. And so I went back to rehearsal the next week and I said, "Guys, I found the name for the band." And I showed them the paper and they're like, "That's it." So we did a few shows with them. I'm sorry that it didn't pan out so well. Every musician in there is probably one of the best that I've known. So the band split and I took a little bit of a break, and then Scott Couch from Cutlass got a hold of Pete Greco, who was my best friend at the time, and said that he wanted to put together an 80s hair band and needed a vocalist, and saw me and thought I would be perfect for it. So he called me up, we talked. The second version took me 2 years to put together, to find the right people for this band. And I finally found them. Mike Zott is a phenomenal, probably one of the best bassists I've ever seen. He's in Infinity right now. Eric Johnson was a lead guitar player. not the Eric Johnson, but Eric Johnson, and phenomenal. And he's in Night Snake right now with Scott. The band was going well for a while, and then things happen and that goes. So I took a break for a while. I kind of retired for about 10 years. Just saw everything that was going on. COVID came, of course, so that was kind of a big downfall, but got that itch back and found the perfect guys for this rendition of the band, and here we are.
So you put the band together since COVID, or while COVID was happening, or what?
While COVID was happening, I was talking to people. It was really hard to get together with people at that point because just with the craziness in the world that was going on. But I've known Scott, almost 30 years. I've known this man.
A long time.
And I met the Wizard of Oz. Shout out to you, brother. He's our drum player over at Soundhammer Studios. So if you want things done the first time right, go to Soundhammer Studio in DeKalb. Shameless plug. I'm sorry, guys. John, our bassist. Sean, our lead guitar player. Wish you guys were here. But I found these guys. I found Sean just flipping through Facebook and saw one of his videos, and
yeah, he was doing a lot of solo stuff at the time.
Yeah,
just
the guys,
guitar stuff.
The guy's amazing. I can't wait to introduce him to everybody because nobody knows who he is, but they're going to. I mean, this guy's just, I can't wait just to get out there and just show the world what we're doing now.
Even as a guitar player, I look at him in awe sometimes.
Yeah.
It's amazing how he's local here and not someplace else. He's that good.
So what kind of music are you doing, and what can somebody expect if they come out and saw you?
We are a tribute to 80s hair bands. What you can expect when you come out and see us is there's no tracks, there's no gimmicks. What you see is what you get. I try my best to...
I like that.
Emulate.
Tracks, no nothing.
I try my best to emulate every band that I cover. Like when I sing Skid Row, I try to sound like Skid Row. When I do Queensryche, I try to sound like Jeff Tate. It's not an easy thing to do. I try to transcend the audience back to what I feel is like the best decade ever, which is the 80s. You're not going to find music like that anymore. Nobody sings or plays like that anymore. So I try to make it, when you come to a Mockstar show, that you're taken back in time, that this is what it was like to be in an arena rock show kind of a thing. And
one of the big things we wanted to do, we didn't want to be a band just playing music up on stage. We wanted a full show experience, lights, you name it, we're going to do it. It's going to be almost like you're at a mini concert back in the 80s. That's our goal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bands out there right now, and I tip my hat to every single one of them because it's not easy going up on stage doing this. If it was, everybody would be doing it. Mm-hmm. I tip my hat to them, but I'm sorry. I mean, I know a good plethora of the bands that are out there. I know, and I'm going to apologize now because Mockstar is coming out to kick your ass, and I'm not going to hold back on anything. I'm not going to hold my vocals back anymore. I'm not going to hold. I'm kind of like a cross between David Lee Roth meets Bret Michaels as far as stage show goes. I like to be in your face. I like to move around. I'll jump off the stage and go straight to the back person and make them feel like they're up front. And it's just, I love to sing and I love to perform, and it's going to come across when you come and see us.
And don't let him fool you. Jack's got an incredible range for a singer. Jack should have been singing in the 80s. He should have been with one of those bands, because I bet you there's some vocals that he'll pull off that are better than some of the studio recordings. So don't let him, minimize what he's talking about. The man could sing.
I think I got the $20 in my pocket. Hang on a second.
We'll take care of that next time.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, Mockstar is just, we're a high energy show, great musicianships, great bunch of guys. We have fun on stage together, and that's going to come across, hopefully, to the people that come out. And
so you haven't done any shows yet?
We did one. We did a pre-warm-up show. We did a show for the Savage Ladies of Metal, which are my best friends, Fran LeSavage and Amy Stefan. We did their birthday bash, kind of like a pre-warm-up show to, kick the cobwebs off kind of a thing.
The Savage Ladies of Metal.
Yes.
Okay.
They are a unique bunch of ladies, is what I can say. They love music, and they try their best to help bands locally, mostly, but across the country, help you get heard, help your music get heard, help support you in any way they can, promoting shows and bands, and just really loving the music and loving the concept of everything that they do. They're just great people, and they're great to be around. So it was a fun show. It wasn't bad.
How long ago was that?
2 weekends ago, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was about 2 weeks ago. We were planning, Mockstar was planning on not coming out until like September, maybe October. Cause again, I wanted to make sure everything was perfect before we did. There's a lot of competition out there that we have to go up against. And a lot of bands have been around 15, 20 years, 25 years, whatever that we're going up against. And again, I love every one of them, and I know mostly all of them, but we're not trying to duplicate what they're doing. We're trying to
do your own thing, right?
Yeah, we're trying to add our own little twist to it. We're trying to add our own little show, our own little gimmicks, our own, we got, I don't want to give away everything, but I mean,
don't share too much.
Our lead guitar player, Sean, looks like Joe Satriani. So we have a part of the show to where he goes off stage and turns into Joe Satriani and comes back out and starts playing Joe Satriani, whatever. Just having fun. I'm sitting in a lounge chair watching him. And I got a fruit drink with an umbrella in it, just waiting for him to get done, kind of a thing. Yeah, just to have fun. We don't take it as serious. I mean, a lot of bands take it serious, and you have to a certain degree. But we just want to have fun. People want to come out and be entertained. They want to have fun. They don't want to see you just standing there playing your guitar. They don't want to see you looking at the floor at your shoes. Entertain these people. If these people are coming to see you and spending their hard-earned money to see you, entertain them.
Right.
Because if not, they're going to think it's a waste of their time, and chances are they're not coming back to see you again.
Right. And kind of the unique thing with this year too, this summer and stuff, a lot of the venues are honoring contracts from last year they had with the band. So there's not a lot of openings to get in there.
Yes. And that's the hardest part for us right now that we're finding is, like I said, we just got the management company, the agency and everything. So that's going to be good. I hope they open some doors for us. But you're right. A lot of the places I've reached out to myself, because I do most of the bookings and the talking to people and whatever before the management company came in. And the hard
Don't
thing,
lie, we ride your coattails. Come on.
and the hard thing with it is, like you said, well, we're sorry, but we already got our bands from last year. And a lot of it is the same bands get the same opportunities and play the same clubs over and over and over. Right. So it's really hard for somebody like us to come up and say, hey, you know what? Take a look at us. We're just as good. Maybe in some cases we're even better.
Right.
But for them, they're going to keep booking the band that they've had, that's making them their money, that's bringing them their draw, that's getting them their bottom line. So it's really hard for us to, but I'm not going to let that deter me. I'm still very determined to get out there and show people who we are, what we can do, and hopefully they like it.
So besides the two of you, there's Sean. What's his last name?
Sean Williams.
Who plays guitar,
He's
right?
our lead guitar player, yes.
And what about bass and drums?
Bass is John McCullum, and drums is Azamaro.
We call him the Wizard of Oz. He's kind of short. He kind of needs a crate to stand up.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Basically, yeah.
His drum kit is pretty killer, though. It's pretty amazing stuff.
That's kind of how I found Oz. I was flipping through Facebook because we had a drummer at the time named Gabriel Anthony. And he's amazing. He's probably one of the best drummers Chicago has.
I know Gabe.
Yeah, Gabe's awesome.
A very great guy, very amazing.
He's a Southside boy.
Yes, and he just has so much going on.
Yeah.
It's really hard for him to take the time out to focus on us.
Right.
And I talked to Dave Schenkel, because he plays with him as well. And Dave wished me the best, and we're going to do some shows, hopefully together. And so when Gabe, when we parted ways with Gabe, wished him all the best. He wished us the best. I was flipping through Facebook and I saw this drum set. That's the epitome of the 80s. It was just starts from here and goes all the way around to here.
Yeah.
And then you see the short little guy standing in front of it. So I messaged him going, hey, dude, I just got a question. Is that really a drum set? It's just a backdrop? And he goes, no, man, it's mine. And I play it and da-da-da. And we started talking, and the rest is history, I guess, and you can say.
So how did? Obviously, you weren't playing before COVID.
No,
or you weren't. No, were you playing any Is any band
During the COVID time, it was pretty quiet across the board.
before COVID.
Before that, I was in a band called Skull Candy, which was taken off pretty good, and that's 4 years ago now, I think. Give and take. A lot of guys had to move out of state, so unfortunately, work commitments got in the way of that. But that was more of a classic rock band than it was more of an 80s tribute band. My passion personally is in the 80s, hair metal, glam metal, stuff that you want to call it. I think that's all of us in this band collectively have a passion for this music. I think the riff writing in the music, I think the lyrics, they just don't duplicate it anymore. And that's where our passion's at. And that's why we love doing this.
Go ahead.
No, and that's the reason why it's like I want to make this as perfect as we can get it, because I want the band to sound as close to the originals as possible, because the majority of people that come and see you, that's what they're used to. That's what they're used to seeing. If I don't hit a certain note on a certain song, they're going to let me know that. Right. If the guitar player don't hit a certain riff, or if he doesn't play the chords right, they're going to let us know that. Right. So it's really, I know a lot of bands, they fall off a little bit and they want to add their own flavor. They want to improvise and do their own thing, which is great. But a lot of people just, I want you to come to a show and close your eyes and think, if you're hearing Skid Row, close your eyes and think Skid Row is up there. And that's how close it we get. And that's what we try to do.
What about keys?
Yeah. What about keys? That's a good question. Yeah. Miss you, Reese. We had a keyboard player when we started. It didn't go the way we were hoping.
Keys were still a big part of the 80s music.
Yeah, it was. We're actually looking for a keyboard player right now, actually.
I see.
There's a couple people that we're talking to, so we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, keyboards were a big staple of the 80s. Every Bon Jovi song had it, and, sure. Winger, Striper, whatever you want to go, everybody's got a keys, Great White and Europe and right. All the bands that we cover. But yeah, it's going to turn out well. Like I said, we got somebody in the wings, and yeah, he's going to take us to a whole new level when he comes through. Oh. So Mockstar's actually, I don't want to say it's going to be untouchable, but
yeah, that's the goal. That's what we're striving for.
Yeah, just need to come out and see for yourself.
Here we stand, worlds apart, hearts broken into two. Sleepless nights, losing ground, I'm reaching for you.
Do you have any bookings at all right now?
At the moment, no. Like I said, I'm trying to get everything tightened down. We have a couple irons in the fire, and they're pretty big ones. I don't want to jinx anything at the moment, but we're talking to some people. We're talking to some national bands, and hopefully things work out. And I'll talk to you guys more about it off the air maybe, but right now I'm just not going to let the cat out of the bag at the moment. I want to give a shout out to, Brian Durbin, Hairbangers Ball, Jennifer Remus. She actually gave me my start in this back in
this crazy world. Right?
Yeah, in this business,
crazy
much.
Business.
Like I said, I had a band in '96, and that lasted for maybe a year. Hi guys, from there without warning. Took some time off for a while. I did a Bon Jovi tribute back then called Slippery When Wet. So I did that for a little bit. There was another Bon Jovi band out there called Bad Medicine, and I knew Bob Irvine, who played there, and he asked me to come out to I think it was Penny Road Pub, to sing a song with them. So I did. There's a guy in there named Brad Detmer that was out there. Phenomenal guy, phenomenal drummer. He plays for Sunset Strip in Rockford. He saw me sing, got a hold of the people at Hairbangers, because I guess they were going through transitions of the lead vocals, whatever. And he said, you got to hear this guy. So they brought me out for an audition. I sang a song. They put me in. So I did some shows with Hairbangers Ball while they were trying to find their permanent singer, so to speak. So she's the one who gave me my start in that. Then she hired me to do Hairbangers 2, which was the touring band for Hairbangers, because Hairbangers was so busy, they couldn't be everywhere. So I got to sing for Hairbangers 2 for a while. We toured and did some stuff with that. So Want to
See,
say
but
hi.
this is why we don't have shows yet. This is how our practices go. We listen to Jack talk for a good hour and a half, and we play for like 15 minutes. He's got stories. He knows more people than most of us have forgotten.
So where did Hairbangers 2 go? I mean, throughout the Midwest?
Yeah. We went out through the Midwest and everything. We did a couple shows in Vegas. We did the opening at the Orleans Theater when Van Halen was there, or Van Hagar, whatever you want to call them at this point. We did a lot of stuff. And the second version of Mockstar, even, we played Rocklahoma twice. We opened for Skid Row, Warrant, Lynch Mob, Dokken. We did a bunch of stuff with them. It's just a fun thing to do. And that's kind of why I'm back. I kind of missed it and just wanted to get back out there and have some fun. And, there are...
We've talked to a couple of different bands that have started another band because their first band was too busy. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what Hairbangers 2 was. Right?
Yeah. That's basically what it was. I mean,
instead of turning a gig down, just plug in your other band. Right?
Yeah, basically. Sure. And that's how it went. I mean, I did a lot of shows with Hairbangers, and I thank Jennifer Remus for the opportunity to do so, because she put me in front of sold out crowds. Everywhere we went was basically sold out. And I wasn't at that point yet at that time. And so, and then Hairbangers 2 came along, and we did the touring to sold out crowds everywhere we went. So, I mean, it was really fun to do, and I had a great time. And Brian Durbin, I got to meet, and he's a phenomenal man and a great vocalist and showman and guitar player, songwriter. I mean, the kid's got, I call him a kid because, I'm a lot older than he is, but the kid's got it going on. I wish him the best. I wish Hairbangers the best. And, High Infidelity. I want to say hi to Tyler and Dave from High Infidelity. Great guys. I've known them for about 18 years. Phenomenal. Just blow you away if you ever go out and see these guys.
I know Bobby Scamacci from...
Yeah, Scamacci. You got the keys on there. Yep. We just saw them at Two Brothers Roadhouse this past weekend, and Ronnie Platt showed up from Kansas, the ex-singer from Ara, actually.
Right.
And so it was a great night. We had a good time, and I'm going to go see them again this weekend.
I know COVID killed a lot of... actually killed some bands, and was the end of a lot of bands.
Yeah.
But what about your guys in the Sean and Oz, and were they playing in other bands and want to be migrating to your thing or what?
It's hard to say. I know everyone collectively had their own gigs and stuff going on. I don't think anything was solid and secure for those gentlemen that we're talking about. Sean, Oz. I mean, Oz, he fills in for a lot of guys. He does own this studio, so he's doing a lot of sound work at the studio and so on and so forth. But I don't think there was anything that was a long-term gig. When the opportunities arose, as I said, I think me and Jack were, he reached out to me, or we kind of fell back into it when he got the itch to get back into the music business again. And I said, well, if you're looking, I'm available. My
you got to thank your wife for that. She's the one who saw
this. This is true. My wife did.
And
said, Jack's looking. You want to go look? I mean, are you sure about that?
The power of Facebook. Yeah.
We do know who Jack is. But no, we haven't looked back since. And then we just started adding the pieces from there. Just kind of been flowing. So
yeah, Oz actually had a side project going. I'm not going to name the name or anything of it, but he was actually in a band, and he had his project going. And he goes, basically, what can you do any different than what I'm doing? And so we all came out, and I hit a couple of notes, and he quit the other band that he was in and joined up over here. And that's pretty much that at that point.
So you said you have a management company. Who's managing you now?
Chicago Entertainment Agency, Star Events.
Okay.
Is managing us now. There's a couple of other agencies that have reached out to me. I'm not the kind of guy that wants to spread it around. I don't want to spread the band around too thin or whatever. I'll give you an opportunity to see what you can do for us.
Right.
And if they can do stuff, Star Events is a pretty big name in Chicago. So I'm hoping, I'm looking forward to great things.
I'm sure they work with other agents and stuff,
probably.
So, yeah.
So, I'm just,
sometimes you want to get into a certain club, you've got to go through a certain agent.
For sure.
Yeah. I've learned that the hard way years ago. So, but the one person who pretty much has his hand on the pulse of Chicago I've talked to, and we've reached out to each other, and he's basically telling me, just let me know what dates you have open and I'll fill them for you.
Right.
So, the opportunities are there, and the shows that are coming are going to be, great shows. I just want to make sure that it's right, because I want everybody to come out and have a good time. The main thing with this band is I love the guys that I play with, because if I didn't love or even like the guys I play with. If I didn't trust them, I wouldn't go on stage with them.
Right.
You know, I'm not going on stage to look stupid for anybody. So you have to trust the band that you're with, or it's just sing karaoke for the rest of your life if you want.
It's fun, but we still take it serious.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you have a target date of when you want to start playing?
I wouldn't mind coming out to play at the end of September, although I know that's not going to happen. So we're more looking forward towards October.
How many hours of music do you have? Or?
As of right now, almost 2 hours as of now.
Yeah.
By the time we come out in October, we'll probably have close to 3 or 4. So,
we had some keyboard songs that we were working on with a previous good keyboardist. Now we have to obviously drop those songs out. So they're there. They're in the background. So we probably got closer to 2.5, 3 if we had some of those.
The thing I'm trying to do with the band right now is like, I don't want to headline anywhere right now. Even if you were to ask me right now, hey, do you guys want to headline, such and such? My answer is going to be no, because this band is just being reformed and we're just getting back together. And I feel that if we headline now, we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot.
You have a practice space for you?
We practice out in the Calb at Soundhammer Studios.
Oh, okay.
So we got a sweet spot out there. I just want to be an opening band for right now, get our feet wet, get our name back out there, build our fan base back up. So if there's any bigger bands out there, Seventh Heaven, High Fidelity, Infinity, hey, you guys.
Hint.
Yeah. We're a great opening band for you guys. But it'll be fun. I hope to see you guys out there.
Then you can only do 40. You don't need to do 45 minutes. You polish those tunes and get them right.
Yeah,
For sure.
I mean,
what did we do, about an hour 20?
We did a little over an hour and 20 when we played 2 weekends ago, and we still had songs on the list that we had to take off because we were just running out of time. So yeah, we got it's all good. We got the look down. We got everything pretty much running the way we want it. I'm a perfectionist, so I'm still waiting to just tweak it a little better than what it is. And
what about a sound engineer?
Scully, our friend Scully is our sound man.
Shout out to Scully.
Shout out to Scully.
He makes it sound even better.
Yeah.
Scully is amazing. He does some of the bigger bands out there.
He's an added member of the band, really. If you have a good sound man.
He gets paid more than I do. So, I mean, he's a great member of the band and he makes money. The band hasn't made money yet, but he does. So
Well, the nice part about Scully is on top of just being an incredible sound engineer and just knowing the sound, he's known Jack for a long time, so he really knows how to work the sounds for Jack to make it better. He's also a super talented musician on top of it. So now you have somebody who actually understands music. He knows guitar, piano, you name it, he knows it. So he seamless fit in and makes it sound even better.
And it was Scully's wife that I've known for a long time. I met Scully through Leslie, through his wife. So that's how I met Scully. But Scully's a great guy, and he's like, the sixth Beatle of this band, so to speak. So
what about original material? Anybody write?
I do, and I'm sure a lot of other guys in the band do. The problem that we have, I've written probably about 100 songs in my time. But the hardest thing about it is if you're not a signed band, no club really wants to give you a chance. Nobody really wants to hear what you have to say, because their bottom line is, okay, am I going to put this original band in here and have 10 people come through my door? Or am I going to put this cover band in here and have 800 people come through my door?
Right. I get that.
So it's like all the people that are out there in cover tribute bands now, at one point were in an original band. Mm-hmm. They love music. They still love to write, and I'm sure they probably still write on the side. But if you want to get out and be heard and have your name out there somewhere, like Seventh Heaven just does it perfect. I've never seen a better band probably than Seventh Heaven. They do a plethora of covers and whatever, but they also throw all their originals in there too.
Right. They mix them in.
Yeah. And the crowd loves it because they're at that point, they're at that pinnacle point in their career to where they're not going to lose the crowd any. They're going to stay no matter what.
And as long as that music is in the same genre, I mean, obviously you're not going to go and do country music if you're a rock and roll band.
Exactly. And Rich Hoffner is probably one of the smartest businessmen I've ever met in my life. Nick Cox, their guitar player, I've known since the theater days, an amazing talent. Adam's probably one of the best showmen I've ever seen. And they got their new drummer, Frankie, who your jaw drops when you see this guy. You're just like, why aren't you playing for me? You know, but
Frankie is an awesome drummer.
he is. He's amazing. And Mark, the bassist, I mean, the band is just so tight of a unit, but they're also friends, and you can see that on stage. And that's what makes a difference. And that's what I'm trying to get us to be. And NTD actually managed Mockstar, my second version of it. Rich is just an amazing man. He treats his bands right. He treats you with respect, and he makes sure you have everything you need, and you can use his sound guy and just everything. I mean, he's a great, I wish there were more bands out there like that, instead of sitting there, you know, being, I'm out for me. What can I get? What can I make? What kind of money am I going to make this night? Screw the opening band. They're going to set up in front of us, have this much of a stage, and that's it. You know, Rich isn't like that. Rich let us have the entire stage, and here, use our drum kit. I've never met a band that treated their openers so well. Hint, hint, Rich.
After all this praise you're getting, we better get an opening spot there.
Yeah.
Rich, hey, look me up. But I mean, it's just.
We'll make sure and send this directly to him.
Oh, great. Rich, I'm sorry, man. I had nothing to do with this. This is all Scott's idea.
Sponsorships are available for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
There you go. And there you go. I mean, it's just, you know, if you want to talk about bands, I mean, even Hairbangers, we went to go see Hairbangers not too long ago, and I haven't seen them, since I stopped singing for them. And it's amazing. I mean, like I said, Brian Durbin puts on a great show. Jen Polypan still knows how to work the crowd and get all the boys, you know, riled up and everything, and Clara Crush and everybody they have there. They got a new guitar player now who shreds like a mother, and just
they're really talented.
They're just very good bands, you know.
Right, they put on a great show too.
They do, and that's, you know, people are sitting there saying, "Well, aren't you trying to compare Mockstar to Hairbangers?" No, you know, they're more the glam side of it. We're more the rock side of it.
Right.
So I mean, even though we might cover some of the same songs, we just do it differently. I would love to do a show with them, opening for them. You know, with us doing like the B sides that we do. Compared to, you know, the hits and stuff that they put out, I think that'd be a great show for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I try to support everybody. Can somebody else talk now, man? Because I feel like I've just been talking for so long.
I'm just listening to it. I hear this stuff all the time, and I
got stories, but I don't know how long your podcast is.
Well, I heard you mention theater before.
Yes.
Now you said you worked for theater.
I used to be a roadie for them. Yes.
Now, is that same theater that like from the late 70s?
No, theater was.
Or from the 70s, actually.
No, I don't think
Tommy Gwenda and
no. Theater is Pete Greco, Bob Irvine, Ron Boyles, Frankie Lance, Nick Cox. They were the original band. Phenomenal. They were probably one of the best bands in Chicago at that time. They were up there with, Chicago has a great music scene, or used to.
Oh, yeah.
And back in the day, you had Radica, you had Theater, you had Tribe of None, you had Enough's Enough.
Right.
You had all these just phenomenal bands that were coming out of there. And then just music took a turn. I don't know if grunge came around and killed everybody, but it turned, and you know, so these guys all went their ways, and now a lot of the guys I've known for back then, like I said, like Rich,
went the wrong way down a one-way street, I think is what happened.
Yeah. Seventh Heaven was around. Seventh Heaven's been around 25, 30 years.
Right.
And back then, Seventh Heaven, Rich had it, and Rich, man, had the long hair and can shred, and he was just, but I mean, it's just, the scene has changed.
Right.
You just don't get a whole lot of that anymore. But I think that's why everybody is gearing towards more of the 80s hair metal music, because it's
a revival of sorts kind of going on.
Nobody plays guitar like that anymore. Nobody sings like that anymore. No bands today. I'm not a big rap guy. Never claimed to be, never will claim to be. You know, songs today, everybody's trying to, you know, country music. And, you know, I lost my truck, my dog died, my wife went and raped the mailman.
And I drank beer.
You know, rap music is like, you know, it's good. Don't get me wrong. There's some great rappers. There's a great music all the way around. But to me, the 80s were the epitome of just the 70s and the 80s, which just the eras of just great music, songwriting.
Right. Well, I couldn't agree with you more, but
and I miss that. And, you know, I wish all genres of that music, you know, Seventh Heaven does, and I don't keep meaning to bring up Seventh Heaven. I'm just trying to get a show with them. I mean, they do an amazing thing that I've never seen any band do, is 30 songs in 30 minutes or 40 songs in 30 minutes or something. And it's phenomenal. And each one is a hit. There's not a bad song anywhere.
Right.
And they have a rock one that they do, and they have a pop one that they do, and it's just,
It's seamless. I've seen them do it.
Yeah,
and
they
it's,
blend it
they go
really
from
well.
one song to another. And you can't even tell.
No.
All of a sudden, whoa, they're playing something different,
and you can't, I'm like, is the guy breathing? Because I don't see his stomach breathing here. How's he? It's amazing to see. And I wish more bands would take the time out to be like that, just to kind of entertain the people that come out. Like I said,
I've seen more and more bands doing that now. Doing
more
30
bands are
songs,
copying,
30
yes,
minutes.
For sure.
because everybody's starting to realize something that's been around for 20 years. There's a formula to do all this,
Right.
and the formula works. And with it, like with us, with an 80s hair band, there's a lot of other 80s hair bands out there that you can go and see. So I'm not going to sit here and claim that we're the best. I'm not going to sit here and claim that we're better. I'm not going to sit there and say you'll get more money for, more show for your dollar if you come see Mockstar. I'm not going to say that to you. My thing is
Let us
come out
prove it
and
to you.
just judge for yourself.
We'll show you.
Every band out there is doing the exact same set list right now because it's a formula. It works. So now what we have to do is, okay, well, we're doing the same songs that these bands are doing. How can we do it better? How can we make this better? The musicians I got is going to do that. The show that we're putting on is going to do that. I might hit a note here and there that can do that. So, it's just, come out and judge it for yourself is all I can say.
It probably takes a little time though, to get the whole thing jiving together,
Yes.
if you know what I mean.
Yes.
That's the secret recipe that we have, though. We have 5 guys that got together pretty quickly, and we all hit it
Right.
really, really well. And
Right.
Jack was talking about
Going out and playing on stage is a whole different thing too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And it's nice when you can go put your arm around somebody and just play and have a good time. And I think that's the camaraderie that we have built up already. And it just continues to grow. So it's sky's the
we're
limit.
not just band members, we're friends.
Right.
And that's the most important part. If I just saw these guys once a week at rehearsal and just at a night that we're doing a show, the show's not going to come off all that great.
Right.
Because people are going to tell. The more fun you have on stage together as a band, as a group, as friends, the more fun the people are going to have that come to see you.
Right.
And that's just what we're trying to do. It's
Just quit texting me all the time. I get 100 texts in like 2 hours with these guys. It's not
I know I'm at work going, don't you guys have jobs? Why are you still texting? Our tagline, Mockstar, the most fun you can have with your clothes on. It's just basically how it is. It's one big, freaking party and just have fun and just.
Well, there was that time with the assless chaps. We'll do that for another
That's a whole new session. Our gimmick is come out to a Mockstar show because you never know who's going to be a Mockstar for that night. Anybody can be a Mockstar. I can pull you guys up when you come to a show and have you do a song with me or with the band, and you're a Mockstar for the night.
There you go.
So
It's an experience. That's what we're trying to give
anybody can
everybody.
do it.
So Scott,
Yes.
tell us what kind of rig you play. What kind of guitar you play. So what
For
kind
this,
of rig?
Well, I don't know. God, I got so many
He's
guitars
got
now.
he's got like 150 of them. So he's got to see
not
which
that
one
many,
he's
but
got.
I have quite a substantial collection. I was a collector. I love them. I like finding rare guitars that, could be a garage sale, could be anything. I just like seeing what they are. So I have an extensive collection from, anywhere from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and new guitars. For this band, though, with the hair metal scene, I'm playing mostly Jackson guitars for this particular band. We like the flamboyancy, so I like the colors, stuff like that.
Sure.
I kind of bring it back.
Still trying to get him to get a purple one.
He wants me to get a purple one. I do have an original vintage 1984 Kramer that will make it out on stage at one point. Midnight blue, so he doesn't like it because it's the wrong color. But that's it. I'm a Seymour Duncan pickup guy. I think it works really good for this style of music. If we tone it down a little bit, we do some more ballads. We start throwing there. I got Fender Stratocasters I'll bring out for those. I'm a tone-driven type of guy. I do like working off of a half stack, or we'll work at a full stack depending on the venue and where we're at. I'm a line 6 guy. For a long time, I've done such a diverse range of music with different bands. Line 6 had a lot of it encapsulated within it already, so I could mimic just about any cabinet or style that I wanted through that Line 6. So that's what I'm kind of playing with now. It's all over the board. I'll bring different guitars out for different shows and intermix it and try to make an experience and a show out of it.
I think that's the most I've heard him talk since he's been in the band. I'm like, wow.
Well, usually I can't get a word in edgewise.
So how'd you get started playing guitar?
Actually, to be honest with you, I started playing guitar late. Me and Jack, as a funny story, go back, we won't date ourselves, but a long time. And I knew Jack, he was actually the guy that was always the Bon Jovi singer at the karaoke bars back in the day. And this is, when we're younger. So we always knew each other then. We hung around a lot back then, knew each other. Lives go on, and we kind of separated. And then the opportunity came up. And I've seen Jack shows before. I've seen him with Hairbangers back in the day. And obviously I've seen him with Mockstar back in the day. And when the opportunity came up, I just wanted to jump on it. So we, I don't know, we just kind of hit it off since then, and we kind of have the same vision. Let's not joke about this. It's Jack's band, and we're all fine with that. We're all members of it. We all have an equal say in it. But this is a big passion of Jack's, and we take it serious, and we all love this music. So that's what we're building on. So I think I didn't really answer your question.
Yeah.
He's just sitting going like, that's not what I asked you.
But I did start late in life. I've always played music, I guess, as a child and stuff like that. But I didn't pick up guitar till, I'm going to say about 17 years ago. So I won't date myself and tell me my exact age. But I self-taught myself how to play. And 6 months after I picked up my guitar, I played my first band.
Okay.
Easier stuff. It wasn't on this level. It was more pop rock stuff, Train and things of that nature. Kind of easy strum patterns to do, but I haven't looked back. So predominantly I play mostly rhythm guitar. I do a lot of leads. I like to try to fill in background vocals when I can, so that frees me up to do that. But I've played just about every genre really out there with the passion in this music. So when this opportunity came up, it was a no-brainer.
Very cool.
If there's any background singers out there that, like this kind of music, hit me up. I need some, I need some help here. No, I'm kidding. Scott, he's always been a great guy, and we've always gotten along. And I knew when I was reforming the band again this time, when he called me up after his wife shut him. Thank you, Don. I knew he was the right guy for it because, again, we're not just band members, we're friends. And I have a band of friends, and that makes a world of difference. And you can ask any band to whether
it does.
Just, you have to have that.
It doesn't feel like work when you're friends. It feels like a little break from reality, some fun, and a get together. It's not work, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
Now, when you learn something, when you learn a song or something new, do you guys decide on it? Do you decide on it, or do you tell them, "Hey, this is what we're going to do," and you guys come with your parts?
Well, let's be honest though. When it comes to
or do you do it?
Ben,
go ahead.
It's going to come down to a combination of two things. Can the singer sing it? And can, whether it's a lead guitar player or the drummer, can the musicians actually play it? I mean, most of us, as Jack has said numerous times, we're all talented enough where we could play, I think, just about any music that's out there that we want to. It's going to come down to what Jack's comfortable with singing. Right. We don't want him blowing out a vocal cord because he does hit some pretty incredible notes. He's got a pretty wide range of stuff. So when you load up too much, so we do defer a lot to him. We'll throw a lot of suggestions out to him. Right. Great song. We all love it. Can it work for you? Will you be able to do it? What will fit in the set with your voice?
Will it work for the crowd too?
Yeah,
right?
And that's the thing. I mean, I've had some of my friends in some of the biggest cover tribute bands in Chicago, names I won't name, but told me their best advice they gave me was run your band like a business. This is your band. It's your name, your choice, your decisions, blah, blah, blah. I'm not that kind of a guy. I mean, if I have to crack the whip, I will. If I have to make an executive decision that nobody wants to make or is not comfortable with, what I say goes.
And I got the scars to prove it too.
So, but I do try to get everybody's opinions, and I do try to take into consideration their ideas and suggestions. But it does come down to song selection of what I can cover. Because for me, if I'm on stage, if I can't sell the song, I'm not going to do it. Because it's going to make me look stupid and it's going to make the band look stupid. So each song that we put on our list, and we got some pretty... we got some Still Hard on there. We got some stuff. But if I couldn't hit those notes, I wouldn't be putting them on the list.
All right.
So I'll ask for their suggestions and their opinions. And that's pretty much how we build a list together. It's just what I'm comfortable doing. And I tell Sean, he can't put the set list together anymore, because he wants to start off with those notes that's just shattered glass. I'm like, I kind of like to work myself up to that.
Yeah.
Because I've never taken a vocal lesson, which is it's a God gift. Thank you very much. So I don't warm up before a show. I don't.
Oh, really?
You don't see me in the back going, I don't do any of it. I just come out and I hit it. But I do like to warm myself up because then when I get down 3 or 4 songs, now I'll shatter your glass or whatever. But I have to build myself.
Right, build yourself up to
It's like
that.
a roller coaster. We want it to be a roller coaster. Bring them up, take them down, bring them up, take them down. You know, have fun with it.
I don't like the roller coaster. I like to bring them up and keep them there until the show's over.
There you go.
You know, I don't want to come down. You know, I don't want to take a break. You know, like when we start headlining, a lot of clubs want you to, do 2 60-minute sets. I'd rather just do it all straight through.
Right, play straight through.
Yeah,
right,
because
right.
the minute you take a break, now everybody else is going to take a break.
Right.
And if they decide to walk away to go get a drink or to go hit on a woman or a man or whatever it is that they do, it's going to be hard to get them back.
or even leave.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
yeah, right.
It's getting that. But if you keep them going, you keep the party going straight, chances are 95% they're going to stick around to the end. So
So going out to both of you, each of you gets this question. Favorite song that you guys do?
That's a tough one.
I was kind of hoping he asked, what's the least favorite song you want to do?
Yeah, the least favorite song we can answer pretty easily.
I can't. I don't know about everybody else. Favorite song?
I don't know. I can't really come up with a favorite. I mean, I meant what I said. We all are just big fans of this genre, and, you know, and we're doing everything from Motley Crue to Poison and Warrant. I mean, you name it, Def Leppard. We're all over the board in that genre. I mean, and we truly, really like a lot of the songs that
There's
we
nothing
do.
that you really look forward to. Oh, we're going to play this.
There's a couple songs on the list that I really like doing. I mean, I love doing Skid Row. That's kind of where my wheelhouse is. But I love singing Hardline's Hot Sherry.
Been too long since the last rain. Still the stars sizzle high in the sky. And they're undressed in the shadow. Stands my sweet Sherry, hiding from the light.
I love doing that one. I love doing Smooth Up In Ya by Bullet Boys. That's probably one of my favorites to do. Never Enough by LA Guns. I mean, yeah, those are pretty much my favorites. You know, we just added some other songs in there that I'm sure, given time, will probably be up there on the list. But I think those are pretty much my favorites at this point.
Yeah, I think Bullet Boys has been one of our bigger hits too.
Yeah.
A lot of people he sings the piss out of it.
So you guys do, like you said, more of the B-sides, right? Or maybe not the quite so much of a hit as there are other songs.
Yeah, I mean, we do the hits. That's the nature of the beast. You just have to do it as part of the formula. You have to. But I do pride in this band that we do a bunch of songs that not really a whole lot of bands cover. Because either they can't cover it or they're covering it, but they're not covering it well. And I mean, no disrespect to anybody when I say that, but we pride ourselves in throwing in some rattlesnakes that nobody really else is doing.
Right.
And I think that's what's is going to separate us from the other plethora of bands that are out there that are doing what we're doing. Is because we do songs that a lot of other bands don't do.
And truth be told, we pick a lot of those because he could sing them. I think a lot of people can't. And that's the big thing. I mean, you could name a bunch of songs that half the musicians in the city could probably play pretty easily, but they're not going to be able to pull it off and sing it.
Right.
So, you know, that's the nice mix that we have. Skid Row is a perfect example. Hopefully all the people out there listening, when they come see him sing the Skid Row, you're going to think you're looking at Sebastian Bach. I mean, they're going to think you hear Sebastian Bach. That's how close to me. That's Jack's wheelhouse right there. In my honest opinion, I think that's one of his best. But
God, my whole check is going to go to you this week, man.
I know you didn't even pay me yet. And I'm still singing you praise. I don't know why.
The disheartening thing for me in the Chicago music scene right now, there's really no support or camaraderie anymore between bands. Every band, some of the bigger bands, and not all, but some, they forgot that somebody somewhere had to give them a start. Somebody had to give them a break. Somebody had to help them up the ladder or whatever. Right. So now that they're these big headlining bands, well, we don't need an opener. We're too good. We're too big. We got plenty of material. We don't need anybody. I understand you don't need anybody, right, but it's cool to support
somebody else. Right?
Yeah, especially your local bands, your friends even.
Right, you're up coming, right.
We always talked about that too, that we're going to make sure that we give those opportunities back to people when we get to that point.
Yeah, exactly. I have no doubt in my mind that Mockstar is going to hit the point that I want it to hit. I have no doubt in my mind. But I'm also not going to be that guy that's going to sit there and go, I don't need an opening band. I don't need you. Right. I'm going to sit there and go, okay, let me hear what you got. And if I think you're good, hey, man, come on up. I'm not going to put a band in front of us that's going to suck. I mean, you don't want to do something like that. Right. But
So if anybody wants to find out more about Mockstar, how do they do that?
Yeah, I don't know. We got to talk to us and figure that one out. Normally, I mean, I would, if anybody, knows
You have a
me,
Facebook page that's
Yes,
in
yes,
progress.
Yes, and I have my own personal Facebook page, and a lot of people who know me will come on my page and see what I'm posting, whatever. The Facebook page is in the works. Hopefully, it's going to be done soon. The demo is going to be done soon. The EBKs are going to be done soon.
Is there a website? Or will
See,
there be?
I'm trying to decipher because websites aren't really what they used to be anymore. Not a lot of people will
Social
hit
media.
you. Yeah, not a lot of people will go on somebody's website anymore. It's either Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever. Stuff that I'm old school. I don't have anything to do with any of that.
Right.
So I the Facebook page will have, and when it's ready, we'll have the pictures up, the tour dates, and the stuff that we got coming up, and the demos, and everything's going to be on there. If I decide to do a website, then of course we'll do that. But
We just don't want to half-ass anything either. We want to make sure it's right, so we didn't want to put out a partial product and just have it look bad. So it's at that finishing touches right now.
that's why I appreciate you guys having us on. I mean, because I gave you some stuff, but not a whole lot because I didn't have a whole lot to do.
Right.
But I figured, this is a great stepping stone, and we appreciate what you guys are doing for the bands and for Chicago and everything else. And we're very thankful and grateful for that.
It's a lot of fun, and we've gotten to meet a lot of people and
Exactly.
and learn a lot. And it's fun getting the backstories and some of the side stories that people who would come and see you don't get. They would come see the band. They go, the band's great, blah, blah, blah. I'll go see them again next time. But they don't know what the story is behind the band.
Yeah, and a lot of
that's
people,
kind of fun.
They don't know exactly what goes into putting on that show.
Right.
They come to see a show and go, oh man, my mind was blown. Oh, great. But they don't know what you had to do to get to that point.
Oh,
the
yeah.
countless and countless of hours of practice and rehearsing and learning songs and getting this wrong and having your fingers bleed playing guitar and busting drumsticks and popping your chords because you're trying to hit a note higher than what you did the last time.
Right.
And they don't see all that. They just see the put together product.
Right.
So it's kind of cool.
Even an hour opener for most musicians, you're still working 3 or 4 hours just to do that 1 hour set. By the time you pack up, you load up, drive to the gig, unpack, set up, and musicians know that feeling.
And that's why it's cool
People forget that.
like for guys like you, for us to come in here and just hang out and talk. And it's like talking to friends. It's not like talking to somebody that, hey, and just kind of going through, this is what it takes to put on a good show. And any band would tell you, it's not just go up there, put on your instrument, sing, and hey, we've been doing a lot goes into that.
Right.
And, I think the more people know of what it takes to actually put on a show like that, probably the more appreciative they're going to be to come out and see it and stick around for it and watch it. If you're going to go see a great band, a big opening band, a big headlining band, whatever, come early, see the opening band because they work just as hard to get out there and get their name out there and try to entertain you and, support local music. I'm all about that. And that's why I'm starting to go back out and see some friends again and see some other bands and just support as many people as I possibly can, what my time allows with my job and my family and everything. And just get it done.
Well, we wish you the best of luck when once you get out there and start playing. We'll watch it for you.
Thank you.
And
you guys got to come to a show, though. We're going to hold you to that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we definitely will. Just let us know.
Guest list, drinks on Scott all night.
All right,
I'll be more happy.
definitely
You guys
coming
show
out.
up, I'll definitely buy for you.
Good.
No problem.
cool. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Thanks a
Appreciate
lot.
it.
So
Thank you
much.
so much for the time.
Good luck.
Thanks for having us out.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it, guys.
So that was Mockstar. That was Jack Cole and Scott Lyston of Mockstar, coming soon to a venue near you.
Version 3.0.
That's right. That's right. And they sound like they're ready to rock. They're getting everything in order. And hopefully they get out there soon. I'd like to go see them.
Yeah, they said they're shooting for September, end of September. Now it's looking more like October, but hopefully they'll get out there.
Yes, indeed.
I'm looking forward to going to see them.
Yes, as I am as well. They sound like they're going to be a powerhouse.
Definitely. And hopefully their Facebook page will be up soon so you can track them. And if we hear anything, we'll let you know.
Yes, we will. In the meantime, we want to thank the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66. What's the
Route 66?
It's Route. And what's the website?
It's roadtorock.org.
There you go.
That you can actually go there, check out the website, and you can actually join and be a charter member of the museum.
Okay. I'll do that. Wait, I did that already.
Yeah, you did. So did I. We're already charter members, but we can always use more charter members.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Be sure and check out Mockstar.
If we get a lot of people, it would be like a Magna Charta, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Magna, like lots of people, like Magna Charta.
Okay. All right, sure would.
Okay, what were you saying?
I was saying, be sure and check out Mockstar. They'll be out in a venue near you soon.
Very soon. Until then, we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music that's played on this podcast.
The music is used to promote the band or musicians that are interviewed.
Rock and roll, Chicago. Rock and roll.